Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to In-Text News Radio, Reality Radio. Everybody could be a star. My name is Clint Paris, and you are live in studio. And In-Text News Radio, Reality Radio, everybody could be a star, and you are live on Straight Up the Middle. Let me lay the predicate for Straight Up the Middle out for a lot of you may not have heard it more recently. So Straight Up the Middle really is a national political discussion forum for talking about national politics. And the reason it's called Straight Up the Middle is, I go straight, I call balls and strikes, contrary to some of the accusations I get on social media. I call it pretty even. And so if you're not in agreement with what you may hear me say, that means that you yourself are out of whack. And I want to give a disclaimer, because what I say on this show is the views and opinions of this host are not the views and opinions of In-Text News Radio. All right, and they're for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so let me get that out the way so that there's no FCC or other federal agency looking for me in the parking lot, trying to question what may or may not be on my mind. But so let me get everybody up to speed. So I'm a little raspy. You can hear a little raspy in your voice. Well, man, I was out in the air last night. There was a.
So what were you doing last night?
Got a little boogie on up at the crate. So they have this last Friday outdoor event up in Pasco County. Man, there were more than 1,000 people out there. I don't know what the real accurate number was, but
I mean, you must have had that muscle memory coming in, because you came in dancing still, like you were still dancing last night. You
a lot of swirling going on. A lot of.
Let me see.
Yeah, I was boogieing it out. I was getting it in, man. And, did it up. We had a great time, man. Nice crowd out there, and it's a great time wherever you are to get out and enjoy your venue. For those who don't know, In-Text News is headquartered in Tampa, Florida. We have the great Gasparilla Festival parade happening, and I know around this country, as the new year grows and expands itself, our communities are coming to life. I know there's some bad weather here and there, but it's just a great time. Football season is winding down. Super Bowl's about to happen. After that, you're going to get the All-Star game, and before you know it, they'll be saying it's time for the first pitch in baseball. And but it's a great time wherever you are. Go out, enjoy your community. There are a lot of people who will make you believe now is not a great time in America's history, but there is never a better time than now to celebrate life. And I want to encourage everyone to embrace that, enjoy your community, support your community, because things in this country are much better than a lot of people will want you to believe. There's a lot of negativity no matter where you are, in families, churches, communities, and we know it in politics. It's crazy. But if you check some of the numbers around stock market, go check your 401k. Everybody today, if you work for a company, I want you to check your 401k compared to last year and tell me how you think it's doing. Tell me how you think it's doing. Go online and look at the value of your home compared to last year, and let me know what you think the economy's doing. We are in a great time in American history, wherein our economy, our social environments are much better, but the negative voices will really try to drown you out, particularly with the political stuff. But we are just about to where the political process for our presidents is going to start picking up and get serious. New Hampshire's out the way now, and surprisingly, Nikki Haley, in my mind, did better than I thought she would do. I really expected her to be down in the 30s, maybe the 20s, but she did, I think, 43 or somewhere in that range, to Donald Trump. Also, we got some people outed. Tim Scott got outed as, the continuing Coonmeister that he is, and Vivek Swamy, but they are lobbying to get a position in Trump's cabinet. I was surprised to see Gavin Newsom already hit the trail, heading over to South Carolina to do some campaigning. I'm not sure if he's campaigning for vice president on the current ticket or to be ready to go in 2028 when Biden's next term is over. But there is so much happening so quickly with the political situation that's just hard to catch on to. So like I said, Biden is now just about to start his campaigning. You've got this issue with the border, and the border package that the Democrats have worked up, bipartisan, I think it is, with some Republicans. But Donald Trump has come out and said, hey, you guys can't make a deal with Joe Biden on the border because I'm going to run on the border. My main issue I'm running on is the border. So you all can't cut a deal with Donald Trump regarding the border. Also, watching them try to bully Nikki Haley out of the race. I don't like, to me, there's just no need for that. There really is no need for that. There may be times that Trump needs to bully, but threatening to say he's going to ban anybody who donates to her campaign. What does that got to do with policies? Why not put your policies on the table and let those dictate today? But the policy for Donald Trump is one of legacy of sexual harassment and defamation. You heard the jury verdict came out. Could have paid the lady $5 million and went home. No, not Donald Trump. Why, when something is bad, why would I just miss out on making it worse? He goes in, and now he's got a judgment for $83 million. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the judge cut that down some, because the majority of that judgment is punitive damages. But Donald Trump was so nasty with the judge, I don't know why the judge would do him any favors. Also, he's going to try to appeal the verdict. Great, you can appeal it, but he's going to have to post a bond to cover that $83 million. So when you appeal a monetary judgment, one of the things you've got to put up is a bond that says, I can cover payment if I lose on my appeal. And those are just a couple of Donald Trump's legal cases. So I don't know how he's going to maintain the society's focus with all this crap happening, in particular with his legal issues. Remember, he's got, I think 3 other cases going. They're criminal cases. He's got a New York criminal case. He's got a D.C. criminal case. In the D.C. criminal case, I think is about the Atlanta election. I get them mixed up because he's got the state election interference case, the federal election interference case. Then he's got the document case, and as Nikki Haley said yesterday, instead of talking about policy, we're talking about Donald Trump having an $83 million verdict for the woman. And the funny part was, they showed him a picture of the woman. He said, when she was young, I don't recognize her. I think that's Melania. Well, no, it wasn't Melania. It was, it was Eugene Carroll. And, of course, he's saying, well, she's not my type. Well, he thought she looked like his wife. So I don't know how the Republicans get some focus or unity.
Never seen that woman at all.
Listen,
don't know who she is.
That is not Trump calling into the show. And let me say this real quick because I got the professor coming in a minute on the phone. If you want to call in number 813-444-9588. Let me coach you up on how you do talk radio. Write that number down. Name it, straight up the middle, call in touch, call in, something like that. So that when you have the inkling you want to call and talk, you can just press the button, okay? Because I get called, oh, you don't say the number enough. I guess I'm too busy talking. I'm not going to sit there and talk about the number. Write the number down. And then when you have a issue you want to call and talk about, and trust me, you've heard I'm nice to my callers. We're polite, and I need callers today because, man, I don't know if my voice going to make it to the end, man. We got down last night. And I'm talking old club kind of, walk around the ring, jump in, dance a little bit, circle the clubs. The place was just outdoors. It was jumping, DJ. And then, you check this out, DJ Bezel.
Yes, sir.
You won't believe what the DJ did at the end.
What he do at the end?
Slowed it down.
He slowed down.
He slowed it
He
down.
took it back. He took it back.
Some Jodeci.
Yeah.
I mean, he took it.
That's that last call, that last bridge.
Hey, man, he slowed it down the last 3 songs, man. Everybody got the hump in their back. You know, it was good stuff, though, man. Here. So let's get this call. Hopefully this is the professor calling in to save the day.
Hello?
Good morning, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, man, good morning, good morning.
Is it really? Is it really a good morning?
It's my biggest fan. Hello? Hello,
Good
Professor.
morning. Good morning, Professor Seabrook. How are you today?
I'm good, man.
Now, when do we stand? When do we stand on our classes this year? Is school back in session for you?
Yeah. School session started on the 16th, a little earlier for ACC, but we're back in session. This was my last weekend off for quite a few weeks. My Saturday classes start next weekend. Obviously, my other classes, my weekend classes started last week. But in a swing of things, I've only offended maybe 2 or 3 students. I've only had 2 drops. That's pretty good.
So we're still in the drop ad phase, right? So everything has settled down yet.
Exactly. I like to help them make up their mind before they lose money. Do you like me or not? If not, get somebody else.
That's hilarious. Well, anyway, appreciate you calling in. And I, you know, of course, I want to be polite. Well, what is on your mind today, Professor? I do not want to hog up the focus, but what's on your mind this morning?
Well, you know, I'm pretty open-minded here. I know we got some things to talk about. I'm not discouraged by the whole Trump ruling. I think most of a lot of the independents and certainly the MAGA people, you know, we see through what's going on. So I'm not too discouraged by the Trump ruling. So I'm open-minded about everything.
So one of the things I thought, let's touch on the Eugene Carroll ruling. I don't know what I don't know that it has a real political slant, except it fits into the mantra of he's a bully and sexist and misogynist. That's to me how he treats women. And then when you think, well, he treated her like that back then, allegedly, but we see him how he's treating Nikki Haley now, it makes more believable he could have been a nasty butthole back then. Do you see the correlation?
Well, no, I want to use my Tommy voice from, I don't know wherever Tommy's now, not Empire, but whatever it is. You know, you got to use that word allegedly. Now, here's the thing. You say it doesn't fit into the whole political thing. The thing is, only Democrats would say something like that. Only Democrats would say, I don't know if it's a part of the political attack on him. Of course it is. He's a straight white man that doesn't mind saying it. Matter of fact, he doesn't mind saying what he likes to touch women. Oh, that offends a lot of other people.
Well, it does. I mean, if you're going to be the party of decency, it would offend you. But if you're not, yeah, I get that. So because of what Democrats right now, we're comforting Nikki Haley right now. We're giving her aid and comfort and money to battle with him, because it fits into this model of he's just a nasty person. He's just nasty. He may have policy decisions. He is just an unlikable, nasty person. And his lawyer's nasty too. I want the judge to put her in jail. I mean, she comes out, gee. I know Trump is saying, where's she been and why didn't I have her in my cabinet? You know,
exactly.
Need her in my life. She's the one.
So you know, go ahead.
She I thought, fit his model, after the verdict, but reality of it, so you got this verdict out there against him, and you got these results. One of the things is about Nikki Haley, though it fits in how he's treating her. I just don't know why. To me, there's no upside to it. And
I didn't get that. You don't know why. What? I missed the first part.
Why the way he's responding to Nikki Haley. Who cares about her dress?
Yeah.
But there's no benefit politically. In my book, the writing's on the wall. Unless something crazy happens, she's gonna lose. right? She's going
Right.
to lose the nomination. So let it play itself out, right? That would be my thoughts for him. I don't know the upside. I don't know what the race is to get her out, to get her off the campaign trail so he can focus on Biden. But he's got other issues. The first thing he's got to do is he's got to unify the Republican Party. How does Donald Trump unify the Republican Party?
And he has not. So, I'm not going to be one of the ones that like to parrot certain things. I'm consistent with this. I do not like the way he talks. And he gets off script, and he uses these corny, outdated ways of attacking people, even with the little hand swing. I'm like, who says that kind of stuff?
Trump.
But the thing with Nikki Haley, exactly, Trump. The thing with him is he does not have a whole lot of self-discipline. That's stating the obvious, we understand. And I think someone has been in his ear like, hey, look, she does represent that group of voters you need on this side of the fence. So hopefully, I'm hoping he debates her. She's calling him out for a debate, and I'm hoping he debates her, and someone has put in his ear, don't attack her personally. He can always go at Joe Biden because she also has to go at Joe Biden as well, or she loses an opportunity. I think from her vantage point, to pull Trump in and let him be Trump, that school of thought is correct because Trump is going to go off script and say something. But also on her side, she has to be careful that she's not wasting her time, like I say, empty calories on Trump. He's going to self-destruct at some point. You have to get your shots in with Biden. Although the Democrats are pumping her up, they're going to turn on her if she were to get the nomination.
Hey, listen,
anyway.
you can trust us. We're not going to turn over. Let me do this. I got to take my first break. Let me take this break real quick, Professor. We come back though, and maybe you can enlighten us on if you were advising Donald Trump, what his benefit would be in debating Nikki Haley. Let's take this break. Come back on the other side. This In Touch News Radio, reality radio. Everybody can be a star. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
This is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecues? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. Listening to In Touch Radio. In Touch Radio, the most loved station across the nation. In Touch Radio. Radio. Tell a friend. In Touch Radio.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
I've got the professor on the line. Professor, before we went to the break, you were mentioning that, Trump debated Nikki Haley, but why would he why would he debate Nikki Haley? You know, it just seems like there's no benefit.
Well, I don't think he would. If he didn't debate her, he wouldn't lose any polling anywhere. But I think the fact that she calls him out, if he doesn't debate her, it seems like he's dodging. And Trump is too much of Trump. First of all, she was already, as we say, unfaithful, disloyal to him. He perceives her
And
as
she's a
someone who's
woman.
now crossed him.
Right.
Well, you know, he does well. He has women again. He's a straight white male. He's cool with that.
No. He doesn't do well with strong. He does not do well with strong women who stand up to him. None whatsoever.
Well, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'll let that one go. I'll let that stand on his face because I don't think I can defend that really well with Trump.
Yeah.
But still, I think he needs to because she is a viable second place. She did better than DeSantis, you know, so she is a viable second place. So I think it would do well. It would only benefit him to debate her because he has a record to run on. Now, besides all the things that the Democrats have tried to, you know, wrap around him and just put the man in jail, besides that, see, that's low-hanging fruit for her. She can't fight him on policy issues. She can't fight him on a better economy. She can't do much pre-pandemic. So he has a good enough record. He can debate her on and use that opportunity to debate, to also pull Biden in.
So I mean, my concern would be she outshines him. I mean, I just don't have any confidence in anything that Donald Trump would do, and I would be nervous about her outshining him, exceeding expectations in a debate. So I don't. I mean, there's no way I
but
think.
That's wishful thinking.
Yeah, no,
That's
I don't think.
wishful
No. He's no. That dude's.
Here's why that's wishful thinking. You have nothing to. There's nothing that corroborates that she's going to outshine him because so far, a caucus and a primary, she's going to shine.
Oh no. Let me don't confuse. I don't want to confuse polling and voting results with reality.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
and the reality of it is, she's much more well spoken than he is. She's much more pleasing in her demeanor. Donald Trump is just a you know, all I can think in my head is him. Like, for example, I got him lurking behind Hillary at the debate. You know, just lurking behind. Not what he said, his mannerism, lurking, disgusting stuff like bringing the woman that Bill Clinton had an affair with or something to the debate. You know, just disgusting stuff that has nothing to do with a border policy.
I like him nasty, just so nasty.
Okay. Well,
so be that,
right.
but so I don't think we're gonna get that. But I would say this: they really do on the Republican side. They need to get focused on the Democrats because the Democrats are extremely unified, well funded, and you know, I opened the show with a couple of things that I don't think people are going to be able to refute. Like for example, Professor, you know, they say, well, the people in the economy. I said, well, go check your 401k. How's it doing? And you'll find that most people say, well, wow, it really is doing well. You know, check your house price.
And I would tell them I would say then go shop at Publix. How's that look?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, everything is not horrible as some people make it out to believe. You know, we're not in the
none of that under Trump.
Well, I don't know. Well,
we didn't have wars. We didn't have immigration like we have. So Trump has an excellent hand to play.
Listen, we don't. How about this? Check this out, Professor. We don't have wars. Other people have wars, but it's not the fact that Israel is fighting Hamas in ours. We didn't start that. We didn't start shooting missiles off. You know, that's not Ukraine.
Let me bring Bezel in on this. Maybe let me bring Bezel in on
hey,
this.
Hey man, this is my hey Professor. You can't go bring it in third party.
we had two SEALs that died in an operation trying to take weapons off of a Houthi vessel. They discovered weapons. We had two Navy SEALs that perished. They actually, I guess, formally announced it earlier this week.
Right.
But see, that kind of stuff is not grabbing mainstream. There is a war going on. The reason why the U.S. has to be so invested in these overseas wars because they need this dollar. They can't have Houthi vessels shooting down.
And you would say that's this is,
channel.
but thankfully there is no straight line correlation to anything Joe Biden has done. Creating, I know that people are trying
Joe
to attach.
Biden is the president of the United States.
Yeah, but he didn't decide when war.
Any life we lose as a military.
No, I get that piece, but let's move to the second part though. First of all, military people die every day almost. We lose a lot of people in the military, so let's put that aside. But trying to say that the Ukraine war, the Israeli war, the war, where's the other one in?
How much money have we sent Ukraine?
Yeah, we spent that money though, so we could build more stuff.
Now you could say you could say
no.
you could say we support some wars, but we're not in war.
Oh, we've sent them billions of dollars.
Which I don't agree
Happily,
with.
you know what? But you know what we sent them? Hold on, Professor. You know we sent that stuff? It was older stuff, and it was time to buy newer stuff. And it moves our military-industrial complex along. So I'm okay with that. Let me ask you about this, though. Talk about Biden a little bit. I was surprised in the New Hampshire primary that Biden got so many, I think like 72,000 votes he got in a write-in campaign, which exceeded what Obama got when he was in New Hampshire. What do you think that?
Only Democrats are somehow impressed by that. He got that the same way he got in office. Do we want to really go there? No. Okay, so let's move on.
Oh, no, what do you mean? Whoa, time out. No, you ain't going to get away with that. Well, I mean, say what you know, say it. Say it.
Yeah. He got that with that flex writing in. You know, like, we're going to take the ballot to your house. Just
Writing ballots.
Let me write the name, and I'll take it back.
So, but
he
if
got it the same way he won the presidency.
so the 72,000 was they absolutely brought in a team, hit the ground. But if that works,
they do that.
but it's the system that we have, and if it works, it works. And I would anticipate more of that when we get around to the general. And if Republicans don't play that, you don't play. If the rules are you can go for 2 points, you know, and get extra point it after a touchdown, and you choose not to, it is not my fault. I go for 2 and get it, you know. And Trump could have did a write-in, but he, you know.
Okay, but let's go here with it. All the bad publicity that Trump has, this dude would show up and he'd be like, "I'll say it in your face. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna go to court, and I'm gonna go to a rally. You won't even see Biden." Now, when it comes out that Biden probably has dementia, when it comes out that, what is it, Austin, Secretary of Defense, I mean, he didn't even know that he was in the hospital. He has prostate cancer. When it comes out that our top leadership is frail and old, hospital-ridden, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot. So what's happened is that nicely oiled Democrat machine, and you guys are really good at in election time. We've seen it before. It's nothing to do with Joe Biden. It's the apparatus behind Joe Biden. Joe Biden is barely conscious of what goes on.
Which is what's more impressive with the results, because the Democrats are right about to put the Republicans in a trap. I mean, it's a kind of trap that even I can appreciate. They've now gotten the Republicans in some negotiations regarding a border deal, funding for Ukraine, funding for Israel, the whole package, right? That addresses border concerns. And now you have Donald Trump saying, "Hey, don't make that deal. I'm running on the border," right? So now your Republicans.
Well, he's saying that because he knows what's going on. This guy's been in office 3 years. He's spending money in Ukraine. He doesn't care about the border in Texas. The only reason he's trying to do it now is because it's election time. Come on, people, don't fall for that again. That man had plenty of time again.
Well, how about this? What about this? How about if we say Biden has been listening to Republicans and our border states, and he's trying to help them out, and he's going to put in a policy like somebody said the other day. This package they're putting together, it'll work under Joe Biden, but it will be even better under a President Trump because of the features they're trying to put in. But Trump is so short-sighted and selfish, the last thing he wants to do is see some problem solved that allows Joe Biden, any way, shape, to gain ground. And one of our callers.
Well, that's a Democrat narrative.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but the idea becomes so if he doesn't, if the Republicans in the Senate and the House don't make this deal, and the House they have no legislation right now, none since they've been in charge. They have nothing. If they don't make this deal, you leave the door open for Democrats to say Republicans don't want to solve the border crisis. They just want to make it an election issue, which is true. And now you're boxed in.
Absolutely not. Well, see, that's what I say. That's a Democrat narrative. So Republicans can stand on what they stand on. The Democrats fought President Trump to not build that wall. They fought him on funding. Even in the midst of a pandemic, they fought him. Now President Biden's been in office 3 years. They ain't did jacket with the border. And now, since it's election season and immigration is front and center, you got 27 states who were thinking about deploying their National Guard, 27 Republican governors. Joe Biden has to address it. And so all they need to say is, don't believe that what they just said. They had 3 years to do it, but they sent that money overseas to Ukraine.
There are a lot of ways to look at problems. You can look at what was done. You can look at what was done in the past, or we can actually try to solve what's in the present. And so we're trying to solve. Right? We're trying to solve. To say Biden heard the Republic, he heard them.
3 years later.
But it's being solved.
But
whatever.
This border 3 years later.
Right, but we're solving it now.
That's what he does for black vote.
But whatever it is.
3.5 years later, he'll start talking about, I'm going to give you some money to pay off your loans. I'm going to give you some money to pay off. It's always doing a 2-year election, and now we at that 4-year election. They show up with this empty check. They show up at the church.
Listen,
they pull that hot sauce moment.
Listen, let me take this second break. Hang in there, Professor. I got a couple more things I want to run by you on the other side, if you can hang on. With the In Touch News Radio, we'll be right back after this quick break.
You're listening to Tampa Bay Tammy.
Your girlfriend.
On In Touch Radio.
In Touch Radio.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer. I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking kids state of Florida. Grab a pen or sundown 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, push your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky, is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
When you've been injured, you deserve help from an attorney that knows how to handle your injury claim. This is Attorney Clinton Paris from the Law Office of Clinton Paris. For over a decade, I worked for insurance companies, and now I use that knowledge and experience to help people that have been injured. For a free consultation, call me, Attorney Clinton Paris, at 813-413-7924. That's 813-413-7924, or at parislawoffice.com. At the Law Office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being hurt. Offices, Riverview.
We're playing your favorite old school. Smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
All right, we're back to In Touch Radio. I got the professor on the phone. Okay, Professor, I've been saving the last thing I want to run by you real quick for York, because you're a Carolina guy. You're North Carolina, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, great. So you're front and center. Here we go. We're coming to South. I need some predictions on the outcome of the primary in South Carolina. It's about a month out, I think it is. But what do you think is going to happen? Mm-hmm. I think Trump's going to win, but what do you think the numbers will look like?
maybe the same cushion that he had in New Hampshire. I think it's probably a good 10-point swing because he's up to almost 30 now. So I think she'll make a lot of inroads if she's there now. I mean, obviously, it's her home state. So I think she makes an inroads, but it's MAGA country. It's a wrap for her there. She's only fighting for honorable mention, second place, and I can still win against Biden, which is a hard sell for South Carolina. And when you can't win your home state, it doesn't look good.
So you about 10, 12-point lead. My thoughts would be he needs a bigger win than that. He needs a big – because here's what people are hedging for, Professor. Most people like winners, right? Most people just like to be on the winning team. You won't believe how many Detroit Lions fans I have run across since they won last week. I don't know where they've been, but they showed up. They've showed up, and I know I got one of our longtime listeners. His daughter, she works up in Detroit. Not a peep out of them for the last couple of years. Suddenly now, the family's decked out in the Detroit Lions gear. They're all Detroit, this, that, and the other. And, they rolling Smokey Robinson out and all the Supremes. It's all about Detroit right now. So we're gonna let them have their moment. But what people in the Republican Party, I think, are hedging is Trump going to win the general election, right?
Right.
And if they think he's going to win, then they're going to come over and support Trump in this race, right? If they're going to get more support. Well,
Right.
if Nikki Haley is competitive with him, and I say competitive to me is inside 15 points. If she's inside 15 points, those people are going to go to her and say, look, stay in the race, because if he gets a criminal conviction, he may be put out. Now, and I want to also bring to the microphone, we have a research staff here at In Touch News that has some information. I'm going to bring in our research intern. He also doubles as DJ Bells.
Check it out. All right, this is just some quick info. South Carolina does not have a party registration, and its primaries are open. So registered voters are free to participate in the Republican contest, just as long as they skip as long as they skip the Democratic primary, but vice versa. But just let you know, Democrats can vote too as well.
Yeah. So they could really skew it.
They could have done that in New Hampshire.
Well, they did do it in New Hampshire. What do you mean they could do it? They did do it. What do you think? How you think she got to the numbers she got?
That's my point. It didn't help her. She still lost.
Oh no! It helped her. Listen, here's what it did though. It got her to South Carolina. Because if she goes in there and she gets 22, she's out. See, we need her in the race. We want her in the race. We're sending her money.
That makes you guys sleep well at night. That makes you all sleep well at night. So what if, keep her in if Trump gets convicted? But like I said, if your guy suffers a health episode, then what?
The same apparatus that's working, and there's no reason I would expect that to happen.
Why? The guy goes into a blank stare on the stage. Why?
No. Mitch McConnell goes into a blank stare on the stage. Joe Biden that's just a pregnated pause. That's just
he sleeps on the stage. It's a little different.
So you think that my thoughts in South Carolina, I think, if she's 40, I'd say if she hits 40, she stays in the race. I think if she's below 40, she may have to suspend. She won't drop out like the rest of them will be, because if he gets a criminal conviction, trying to blame everything on the Democrats, it gets old, It really does get old, though. So anyway, well, Professor, I want to thank you for getting up this morning. Thank you for taking your time and giving us a call in. Good luck with the semester. Hopefully we can drag you in here and there to kind of help out with the show. But I want to thank you again and wish you well with educating the youths of America as you go through this spring semester.
All right, thanks, man.
Take care. All right, that's Professor calling in. All right, so if you're listening and you want to get in the conversation, you can. The number is 813-444-9588, 813-444-9588. When I talk about Donald Trump, and try to rationalize why he's even where he is, it makes me think less of America. The fact that people would say, "I want this guy." You know, we have the lady like Vince McMahon, the leader of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Lady files a lawsuit against him. Right.
Right.
The board members, stockholders, went to him and said, "Listen, you got to go, bro.
You got to go.
We can't have you. You can't be the image of us. We're not saying whether you did it or didn't do it, but we can't have our leader fighting over something of this nature. So you got to go." But the America at large, particularly the Republican Party, is okay with someone who's facing all kinds of scrutiny and legal issues as their leader, and you'll spend more time on the legal issue than you will with the leadership.
We got a caller.
All right, let's do this. Good morning, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Vanetta.
Hi,
Calling from Detroit.
How are you? Wait a minute. So I'm trying to figure out. You said Vanetta from Detroit, and I'm trying to think, how can we prove? How can we prove you're really Vanetta from Detroit? Calling in, but I'm gonna let that ride for right now. What's on your mind this morning?
Yeah, you don't have to take my word for it, but I really enjoy your show.
Well, thank you.
I've been wanting to call for a very long time. I'm glad I was able to get through today.
Excellent.
But when it comes to the conversations that you have with the professor about Trump and whatnot, I always find it interesting that as long as we're talking about personalities and how old Joe Biden is, or how many convictions Donald Trump may have, it diverts us from getting to talk about the actual issues. Because, as a voter, if Donald Trump is elected or not elected, either way, whether or not Joe Biden has dementia, that does not impact, whether or not I'm going to have health care options, or whether or not a woman is going to be forced to carry a non-viable fetus.
Right.
I think once you start talking about those types of things, the contrast becomes a lot more clear, and the stakes become a lot more clear. Just the fact that the thought of, whether or not your parents and grandparents can afford their insulin. There have been a lot of things done that do not get discussed that I think voters, if they really understood those issues and got away from the personalities, the stakes, like I said, would become much more clear, and people would have a better understanding of what the consequences of their vote really mean.
You bring up a very key point, and it's unfortunate that the driver in our current political discourse is personality driven. And this is one of the downsides of having what I think are two candidates who have a lot of baggage, so to speak. There's no doubt the issue of Joe Biden. We all have elderly family members, and there is that aura that, gee, if something happens, what happens there? And then Donald Trump, in my book, he's despicable. I can't even believe in America this guy gets to be on the stage at all. It's so impactful, though. How would you go about driving the conversation to more substantive political issues, though? What would you suggest? How do you do that?
Well, it's difficult because I don't think people see the direct connection. And I did have a conversation with a relative over the holidays, as we tend to do. And I mentioned that, the things we're facing now, like this whole abortion issue,
right,
this was solidified in 2016. I don't know that people realize that Hillary Clinton's email is the reason a woman has lost options or, her choices when it comes to how, she takes care of her medical care. And I don't know that they realize that the maternal mortality rate has worsened under these policies. So because of Hillary Clinton's email, we are now faced with, these types of conditions. So that's what I try to do, is just try to talk to people about how these things actually show up day to day.
Right. Well, that is very brave of you to actually talk to people. I hide behind this microphone where they can't come get me. So I commend you for that. You and I don't want to hold you on the phone too long because you did mention that you are from Detroit. Can I get a prediction on today's game? Did you have one?
Detroit all the way.
Wow. Okay. All right. Detroit or 49ers then. Well, all right. Well, great. First, well, thank you so much for listening in, and thank you even more for calling and being a brave person that's willing to support the Detroit Lions. I wish you.
Hey, you know, the thing about politics is just like football, right? Have you trying to convince someone to change their political affiliation is like trying to convince the Dallas Cowboys fan to watch another team.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen no matter how poorly they perform.
I would say this then. Try, instead of to change their opinion, try to understand their opinion. And I think that'll take all of us a lot. It will take all of us a lot longer way. And because I've been trying since Trump showed up to understand this, and I cannot understand it one little bit. So you have a great rest of your day, a great weekend, and I will go ahead and say it for you. Go Detroit Lions. You take care of it, and thanks for calling in. All right. That was Vanetta from Detroit. I should have asked what the temperature was. Was it snowing, raining? Because you know they had that bad weather up there.
Yeah, they got that bad weather up there.
But she brings up a good point, Bells, and I'm dismayed by this, and that is that in our current public discourse, you can't talk policy because no one talks policy. Well, first, I think there's very little policy coming from the Republican side, not to belabor it. They're gripes and grievances, but not policy. The Democratic side, we've chosen to say, look, you guys sound so crazy. We're not going to interfere with what you're doing. So let's bring this caller in real quick. Hey, caller, can you do me a favor and hold on while we take a break? We'll come back on the other side, and I will let you say anything that is on your mind. Okay? Hang in there with us. This is In Touch News Radio. Reality radio, everybody could be a star. We got a caller on the hold, so we're going to take this quick break, come back on the other side, and see what we could be enlightened with. In Touch News Radio, we'll back after this break.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661. By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecues? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
All right, we're back live on Reality Radio. Everybody can be a star. Listen, I got some callers throwing me a lifeline. They're feeling sorry for me because my voice is failing this morning because I was out that cold air partying too hard. Good morning, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Margaret Develot. Some people know me as Miss D, the job coach. I used to have a show on In Touch News Radio.
Oh, really? Okay, yes, I recall that. So anyway, what's on your mind this morning?
Okay. So let me run it down to you like this. We have short-term memory loss. Vietnam can happen again. We need to go look at the documentaries on Vietnam because we are at a perfect storm for Vietnam happening again. We can have our sons and daughters coming home in body bags. Got to go look at some documentaries. Vietnam happened exactly in a situation where we are now, because we are at discourse with our government because of what happened as a result of Vietnam. I was at the portico yesterday, and our conversation was around the fact that we don't know who the voters are. The voters are the millennials and the Gen Z. Those are the actual voters. The baby boomers do not care because they're going to die. They've all told me that. I live out here in Bel Air with them, and they have their own health care, so they don't care about putting money in health care. They have pensions, so they don't care about the fact that Generation X, which I am, doesn't have health care, doesn't have a pension, and has no idea if we will ever retire. So the young people are the ones who are actually voting. They do not care about abortion because they're not even getting pregnant in the first place, because we have screwed the earth up so bad they don't want to have children in this nonsense that we have created. So what we have to do, whatever party you belong to, I'm non-party affiliated, I live here with Florida man, and DeSantis needs to go to jail, and for human trafficking. That's what we need to send him to jail for, human trafficking. Now that he's taken his heels off and come back to the state, I sure hope that we arrest him for human trafficking, because when he put those migrant workers in vehicles and sent them across state lines, he trafficked them.
Oh wow, that's a very interesting way to look at that. You know, so how do you mentioned this about these about the the messages missing the voters, the people who are most affected, by this.
Absolutely, because they are not on Facebook. They're on Snapchat. They talk to influencers. They listen to each other. They think we're stupid. Why? Because we think they're stupid and lazy and always on their phone. And instead of us meeting them where they are, now understand, I'm a member of Florida Rising Together.
Okay.
Okay? And we are a lobbying organization that educates voters about what all of these nonsensical bills are about. So please join Florida Rising. Please join Florida Rising, or at least get on their mailing list, Florida Rising Together, so that you can be more informed about what these bills are, what's good about them, what's not good about them. All the information is there, and it is free. You can learn how to lobby. You can learn how to send letters to the lawmakers. You can learn how to discuss it. So let me roll back a little bit. I worked on the campaign to elect the first African-American mayor in the city of St. Louis.
Okay.
And we won. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking off the top of my head. We don't teach our kids civics, and most of our children in Hillsborough County, thank you, Shake Washington, are functionally illiterate.
You know, that is interesting that you put it that way. How do we then engage that generation and on the issues that are more that need to be more relevant to them? Because you mentioned we've got them voting, but they're just voting, so to speak.
No. They're voting policy. They're not voting the dumb stuff that we think about. They're voting for health care. They're voting to expand Medicaid. They're voting on issues. They don't want children living in cars and trying to go to school.
Right.
They're voting on homelessness. They're voting on green energy. That's what they're voting on. They're voting on the environment. That's what they're voting on. But we're over there talking about abortion. They don't need abortion. You know why? Because they're not even getting pregnant in the first place.
That is an interesting perspective, right? So
you have to go to where they are. We have to meet them where they are and stop being disrespectful to them. Just because they don't behave like us doesn't make them incapable. The cross-generational conversation is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. So that's why they don't even talk to us. So there's a number, 988. After Columbine, they created this number so that kids could report on kids. Kids report on kids about guns and things that they hear brewing. We act like we are the smartest people in the room, and I'm telling you right now, we are que estúpido, por favor.
Well, that is a very enlightened perspective. I want to thank you, Ms. D, for listening. Thank you for calling in. Appreciate you being out on the front lines with, you said, Florida Rising Together, correct?
Florida Rising Together.
Outstanding.
Yes, Florida Rising Together. Go look at their website. Listen, let me tell you something. Those young people got that technology. Let me give you a visual, and then I'm going to go.
Okay.
The Million Man March took 2 years to plan. The Women's March took a year and a half. The Kids March, alongside the money of people like me and you, took 6 months. Those kids can collapse time frames with technology, and if we don't get alongside of them and fund them and finance them and support them, we're going to end up in Vietnam. Have a great day.
All right, well, thank you very much for calling. Listen, all right, so for those who are not history buffs, all right, I'm going to hand out some history assignments. The professor will be really impressed with this. I want you to go and research something called the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. Just Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. And then it will map out for you how we end up escalating our situation in Vietnam, and it's very reminiscent of what we're seeing happen over in the Gulf near Yemen, and with trying to keep the shipping lanes open. Very, very interesting parallel that Miss D drew from that, and she's just been a great worker in our community, out doing what the hard work. She mentioned a couple organizations that we can get involved in. There's no doubt there's a missing connection between generations. We look at them, with disdain sometimes. In fact, Bezel, last night,
Yes, sir.
as I was getting my boogie on,
At the crate.
you know what I was saying?
Well,
You know what is so good?
you-
Ain't no knuckleheads out here messing it up.
Yeah.
And everybody was, well funded and,
Well dressed,
supplied and
smelling good.
getting it in. But she brings up something about listening to our younger generation, the people that are really being affected by, because she's right. A lot of folks, the older people, they're like, hey, look, I got me a house. I got, my money saved up.
That's right.
I go to the store. I can get what I want. It's the people that are being affected by this. And maybe we need to drive more policy to the forefront as decision-making items. And I think that will, once we really get into the general election, people just won't be able to say, like me, I don't like Trump. We'll have to look at his policies and say, I don't like his policies. Likewise with Joe Biden. Because when I think Joe Biden and Edna Rain does a great job of this, he maps out the great successes of the Biden presidency from a policy perspective that I really think is going to benefit us going forward. So
Yeah, we got to encourage the people to look at the policies.
yes, well, it takes more time. It takes more energy, and of course, it takes you got to be able to process it. And some of that stuff is really, really complicated. I would be considered a reasonably well-educated and read person, and I am shocked sometimes how difficult it is for me to understand what someone is presenting as very basic. They'll say it's very basic, and I'm sitting there going, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. And if I'm not getting that, how is someone else who's not nearly as exposed, up to date, how are they absorbing that information? And in our current system, you're just bombarded with stuff that could be right. The first thing is you got to figure out what's true and what's not.
And where the resources coming from.
Whether I should listen to this. My first thought, I hate to say this, with every topic I watch on the news, my first thing I think about is, why are they telling me this? Not what they're telling me. Why are they telling me this? The next question I ask is, who's telling me? Is this someone I can trust to tell me this?
Right.
And how can I go about verifying it?
100%.
And that's all, it's kind of like back in the day when I was trying to pick a chick up at the bar. The first thing she had to be, who is this dude? And why is he talking to me? And can I verify he say who he is?
Right,
Anyway,
right,
I should
right.
leave that where it is. All right, listen, y'all. I want to thank everybody for listening in this morning. I want to thank my new callers for calling, Miss D and Vanetta from Detroit calling in. I hope she calls back. Whether they win or not, I want Vanetta to call back in and we chat some more, because she made a very good point about the issues are being drowned out by the politics of personality right now.
Yeah, I like the diversity. It was really good conversation today.
And you know who's upset right now?
Who-
You know who's out there upset? Carl the trucker, because he
Carl,
couldn't get through.
he couldn't get through. He
They
couldn't
boxed
get
my
through.
man
No,
out. Carl, next time, man, you get through.
Don't worry, Carl.
We'll get you through, man.
He was here in spirit. Honk, honk.
Hey, I
Got
want
you.
to thank everybody for listening in, of course, for calling in, of course. Have a great day. Get out, enjoy this beautiful weather we're having wherever you are. But most of all, make today matter in your life. See you back here next week.